Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, T to T, and you can refer to me as Misty. Y'all see the thumbnail? Why is the dumb-ish keep happening in boxing? Especially since it was doing so well. I'm going to get into that and more, be more clear as to what I'm trying to say about this. And but y'all know the drill. First, let's turn to. Hold on, I had to stop that because I'm wondering, could y'all hear that? I'm sorry, hold on. Let me turn everything on, make sure everything working. Let's try this again. We'll get into all of that, but y'all know me. First, let's turn to. Welcome back. I'm sorry. I got to get this thing straight. But anyway, welcome back to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. And we're going to talk about the dumb-ish that's keep happening in boxing. Boxing was doing so well. But now wants to get back on the dumb train. You know, dumb is something you acquire. That's not something you was born with, or it's not like a genetic trait, or not like that. You don't have to be dumb. That's something you choose to be. And sometimes the sport of boxing chooses to be dumb. I don't know why, but it does. WJ Luckett is in the building, says Salute Queen T. I apologize. I didn't mean to cause a scene on your last live. I just wanted to bet to be honored. Glad you got your money. And I replied to you, WJ. I hope you're listening. I didn't get it yet, but I'm sure he is good for it. We got ATX Slab Life Cletus, a.k.a. Big Texas. What's poppin', King? He said, salute, Miss T. It's funny that you put T like that because that's how my dad preferred it because of my last name. It's spelled like that, like with longer. But anyway, so we're going to get into that. But y'all know what I do at the top of my hour. It's a water check. Today, I didn't drink as much as I should. Kind of got a late start. I don't know, like whenever I have trouble sleeping, I be sleeping all day, y'all. And then when I try to get up, we halfway through the day, I don't feel like drinking no damn water. Yeah, I have my days. I have my days. But after all, tomorrow is another day. In my Vivian Lee voice. Somebody say, who is Vivian Lee? Scarlett O'Hara on Gone with the Wind. You remember she hit him with the, after all, tomorrow is another day. He said it's all love. Yep, it's all love. So, water. Even looking at boxing and being into the sport of boxing, whether you like football or basketball or any other sport, you gotta know you gotta drink your water. And this is why we advocate it. It's so many people out there walking around sick because they don't drink enough water, walking around dehydrated because they don't drink enough water. That shit is crazy to me. For us to live in 2023 and we don't value or put emphasis on the drinking of water. And we don't understand that it doesn't matter what we choose to do or try to be into. Without water, we're going to fail. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. That's why, like when I was in the military, they, people brag about their little jobs, me included. And we be sitting around, then you realize your job ain't shit unless you getting fuel for your job. Your job don't mean nothing. So whatever job that you have can't be better than the job of the cooks. Because ain't none of us walking around without nourishments, right? So we always say at Boxing Fans Talk TV here, we advocate that you drink water. We think every adult should drink at least a gallon. That's 128 ounces. We know the formula is half your body weight in ounces of water. But we say a lot of people ain't into water drinking. So we say at least drink 100 ounces. You're going to see the difference it make. If you're not a big water drinker, at least twice a day you should drink water. That's first thing in the morning before you get out the bed, put your feet on the ground, and get into your morning routine. You should drink 8 ounces of water, whether it's cold or not. I can drink room temperature water. I prefer ice water. I drink more water when I drink ice water than I do room temperature. So if that's the case, then that's the way I need to drink it. So I make provisions. I buy me ice, I keep it in my little fridge upstairs. And I got a water cooler in the room. And I drink 5 ounces like I got these little cups. They 5-ounce cups. You know how easy it is for me to drink 20 of them joints? That's 100 ounces right there. So whatever you do to trick your mind into drinking a lot of water. Yogi is in the building. Dr. Yogi is in the building. Say hello, Miss T. Stopping by to show some love. Thank you. So the second time that you should drink water is at night. After you get out your shower, when you're going to put your PJs on and lay it down for the night, you don't fall asleep right away. You look at TV, read something or whatever. So even the American Heart Association agrees that that's the perfect time to drink water. Not drink water, then fall asleep immediately, but drink water right before you sleep. Your body going to be going through a whole lot of work at night. A lot of reads going on, revamping, rebooting, recharging, redirecting, recreating. All kinds of reads. And you need the water to help things move in a timely and efficient manner. You want everything to flush out. Plus, first thing in the morning, you know how all of us get down. First thing in the morning, you want all that to run out smoothly, right? That's why you drink your water. Plus, the average person burns between 900 to 1,000 calories at night in a deep sleep. So that's a lot of work. That shows that you doing more work sleeping than you are going balls to wall in an average workout. Because people think because they sweat a whole lot that they burning all these calories, but you're not. Sweat is an indication of your body cooling itself down. That's all it is. But I get it. It just makes more sense that the more you sweat, the more you worked out, the more calories you burn. I get it. I'm not trying to change nobody's mind in that, but let's be clear what it is. Sweat is an indication of your body cooling down, not your body burning calories. WJ back in here, he said at ATL, All good, bro. Sorry for the misunderstanding. I appreciate you. That's cool. That's cool. Is he in here? ATL? ATL's not in here yet. But I see you, WJ. Like I really do trust that he's gonna square that away, the money. But maybe he has to get paid. So I don't know, because we all forgot that we're best made, because we've been talking about this shit for 5 years. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, back to the water thing. So now that I said that, let me do a little housekeeping. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Let me tell you, if you already hit the subscribe, you don't need to do it. I already got you locked in. You good to go. But every time you come in here, hit that like and share button. Understand that you can leave a comment, statement, or question. I get back to you. Some of this shit is funny. I really do enjoy getting back to you guys. I talk to you guys through the email too. You can hit me up at boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. That's boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. Same thing. Leave question, statement, whatever. I get back with you and all that. And I come on Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Unless I got something to do. Unless I get real busy. Unless ain't shit to talk about. I ain't coming on and blow fluff up your butt. And do y'all see that lovely Cash App over there to the right? Please use it. Embrace it. Become one with it. I don't know what YouTube is doing to me. I done gave up on YouTube. But I'm sure I've been earned the requirements to get my super chats and all that stuff. But they don't even count my views. I've written them and everything. But until they get their act together, I got the lovely Cash App at Boxing Fans Talk TV. That's Boxing Fans Talk TV. You can utilize it if you want. All proceeds go back into the channel. I thank you for the past Cash Apps, the present, and the future Cash Apps. So, no misunderstanding, WJ. We good over here. You good? You fam. You and ATL, y'all fam. We good. And I always agree that people got to work their stuff out. As you see, I step back and let y'all handle it. But in the end, I knew it was going to end in love and understanding. I always know that because that's how I carry my show. So we good. So before I get into this, y'all know I got to pump my own shit. So hold on. Let me get this cracker lacking. So I was asked the other day to make a shirt saying, I get active. Well, by popular demand, here we go. Look at that. Let me give you some mood music. I made this shirt to exemplify a whole lot of stuff. I wanted to catch the whole outfit. Eminem standing right next to him, coming out before the big dance. So he's saying, I'm getting active. And he got active. So that's what is made, getting all prepared for the fall, winter, and everything. When it get a little chilly out, you can put this on. That man is now the face of boxing. He is the creme de la creme, the cherry on top. That's what it is. And so he should be commemorated. I got undisputed tees in there, everything. But I like this sweater. It come in all different colors: red, blue, gray. Shit is tight. I also got the t-shirts, all colors. Again, I even got them in white. I get active. What Terrence said, I'm getting active, or I get active. You remember he tapped on the desk? Only his haters didn't believe him, but look what he was able to do. But that ain't the only shirt I got. I like this high-waisted shirt for the ladies. Said, anywho, got shirts, friends. Everything is a process. Special. Very special. And the creme de la creme is this shirt right here. This is my favorite. Head over and get your hoodies. Look what it say on the back. Look what it say on the side. Y'all can't tell me y'all don't want this. Read the ticker tape down the bottom. It'll tell you how to go on and get those shirts. I get active t-shirts and sweater while supplies last. There you have it. It was asked and delivered. So how y'all doing out there? I know I was pumping my shirts. I hope y'all saw that. So if y'all was looking at the thumbnail, I had Errol Spence in the bigger picture. And then I had Clarissa Shields and Keith Thurman. And I had Canelo and Charlo on there. And so y'all probably wondering, what am I talking about with the dumb-ish? If y'all been listening and all that stuff, some of this stuff I got to treat it as rumors. Because maybe it didn't happen. I don't know. But you see it around enough and then you say, oh, I'm going to talk about it or whatever. And that's what I'm doing. Let me start off with the obvious, the big fish. I was talking with my friend, and I have a lot of friends who are Errol Spence fans. And I said, I don't think he should come back. So I want to be clear in what I'm saying. I don't think he should come back. Ever. I don't want to see that fight ever. But to be clear, I am one of them people who understand the laws of the land I live in. We do contracts around here, right? In America, we do contracts. And I believe when you sign a contract, you have to honor your contract. And the contract makes what you said or what you promised enforceable when you sign it. Because if we didn't have that, we'd have a whole lot of people reneging on some shit. But him and Bud signed the contract that afforded them both an opportunity to activate a rematch clause if they so wanted to. And because of that contract, because I believe, again, in the laws in the land in which I live, then Errol Spence definitely deserves his rematch. He definitely deserves to get it in, right? But, I don't think he should do it this year. You have to activate your rematch, right? But there's nothing, well, unless it says it in there, that it has to be done at the end of the year. But what did Bud and Errol show us with this fight? That those two guys can come together and make their own decision. Didn't they just show us that? Then Bud reached out to Earl, and Earl reached out to Bud, and they sat down, and we know that Al Heyman didn't want to make this motherfucking fight. We know that. That ain't news. So what did Earl do? Earl came to the table. This was a complaint that Bud lodged last year. He was like, the whole time I was negotiating, where were you? Nowhere to be found. And the whole time I've been complaining about Errol Spence giving carte blanche to Al Heyman and PBC for his career. And I don't think that that's proper, or I wouldn't advise nobody to do that. You have to be the orchestrator of your life. You can't delegate that duty to somebody else and then expect them to do right by you in every way possible. Al Heyman was doing right by him. Now, people will say, can you blame him? You know, it does seem like, oh, that's fucked up on his part. But can you blame him or do you blame yourself? You gave him the power to orchestrate your career how he wanted it to, not how you wanted it to. And the minute you sat down and you took charge for yourself, look what happened. You got what you wanted. You got one of your biggest paydays that you ever had. You wasn't going to get that with Al. You came out and said, hey, I think I've been being played. You never said who you was directing that at, but I highly doubt that you was directing it at Bud, but I'm sure Bud haters would love to think so. I think that when you and Bud sat down, when you had to hire a new management company to help you with this deal, and Bud brought his lawyers and y'all sat down and hashed this deal out yourselves, I think you learned some shit in that whole transaction. I think you learned that for years you've been leaving money on the table. I think you learned about things you was never aware of. But you guys handled it like men. Because even though you wasn't aware of it and you see the flaws that went down even with your past fights when it comes to business, you was like, okay, you took it as lesson learned. Same way Bud had to. I think once Bud left Top Rank at Spence fans' request and Earl Spence, Bud had sense enough not to join the PBC team, but he left Bob Arum and he struck out on his own, on his lonesome. And I think once he did that, he learned some things. He learned that promoters ain't really spending their own money. They taking in investors. Investors want their money back and then some. And they also learned that the nerve of these promoters to make all this money off of them. And hold on one second, y'all. Hold on, I got a call. Sorry about that, y'all. I think what they both found out is, hey, not only are our promoters charging us for being our promoters, they're not really promoting, like in especially the Top Rank case, they're not really promoting that much. They ain't doing a whole lot. What are they doing that I couldn't do by myself? Why? Show me why I need them. So not only are they charging us a percentage of what we make, they getting investors to put up, the money for the fight, and they keeping everything else. So they probably seen some deals, and I'm just throwing numbers out there. Like they probably saw some deals that said, okay, Bob or Al, I'm going to give you $300 million budget. Not 300 million. That's a whole lot. Let me bring it down a bit. Let me see, $70 million. Put a fight card together. And, you're going to pay for everything because they're giving you the budget. Put this shit together. Okay, you put a fight card together. The total amount of revenue that you're paying to all the fighters don't go over $5 million. Well, they gave you 70. So it's 65 left. Oh, in the production of it all. Okay. Then you find out that shit don't cost that damn much. That's not up in the millions of dollars to hire the cameraman and put the ring together and pay for the venue. It's not up in the millions with an S. However much you call. Let's say that's 500,000. Lord, where am I getting my numbers from? I'm sorry. I'm thinking of hundreds of millions of dollars. 70 million, $5 million to the fighters total. That means the main event, co-main. So that brings you to 65. And then let's just say it's another 100,000 or 500. I did say that right. It's 500,000 or something. So you still in the 60s a million, 63, 62. And guess what? Where the rest of that money go? Bob Arum was getting over. Al Heyman is getting over. Because Al Heyman was getting his budget from Showtime and investors. So, meanwhile, you looking at your pay, Earl Spence, of $1.2 million or $1.5 million. At best, $2 million. And Terrence Crawford, on average, you're getting between $4 and $5 million from Top Rank. Where's all the rest of these millions? Then you do pay-per-view, and they only counting, the money that they're going to pay you on the back end. You probably thinking, oh, we only counting America's, because that's what people do. You from America, you thinking about all the pay-per-view in America. You're not thinking about the closed circuit. You're not thinking about all the TV rights and stuff from other countries and shit. There's over 200 countries and stuff on this earth. I know more than half of them watch boxing. Nobody told you about that stream of revenue neither. And then when it's all said and done, Al Heyman makes money. Bob Arum makes money. But the people who do the most work ain't. But, you're going to find out all these little inconvenient truths that Al and Bob didn't want y'all to know when y'all are y'all own boss and y'all sit down and y'all act like bosses. That's why I believe, and I don't know this for a fact, but I do believe I was one of the first people that kept making a big brouhaha about the fact that these fighters going around and say, I'm my own boss. I got my own promotional company. And I was like, no, you're not. You're working for this dude. I was hoping to nudge you in such a way that you'd be like, wait a minute now. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney, well, I know they call him having a silver spoon in his mouth. He had his daddy, to lay down the path for him, as a parent should. I ain't blaming his daddy for that or him, but a lot of people can look at that kind of strange because he didn't never get it out the mud or get it from the gutter, like they would say. You know what I'm saying? Hey, there's pros and cons with having a silver spoon in your mouth or whatever. But that's how they view him, having a silver spoon. But again, he was fortunate enough to have people in his corner, namely his dad, to show him the ropes and make sure he don't fall through the pitfalls that everybody else is falling through. That's what you do with your kids. But there's a lot of lesson to be learned when you do get it from the gutter. But we talking about Earl Spence and this rematch and the dumb-ish that's going on. So when I'm talking to my friends who are Spence fans, I be like, look, they made a lot of money. If $21, $22 million at the gate is an indicator of how much money they did. Preliminary talks are saying that they made like close to 800,000 or something pay-per-view. I think it's more than that. But I don't know if we ever know. But it's up there. It was over 500, which that's what we were talking about back in the day when we were going back and forth and arguing about how well this fight will do or won't do. When you have people out there that saying black people don't sell, or and all this stuff, and everybody want to run with that. Or when Jerry come in and he be talking about, but you got to understand there's no money, and he want to talk business like people don't do what they want to do. As I always say, you do what you want to do. Well, people just gonna steal the fights, but they gonna steal the fights regardless. If you not saying that shit to the white fighters, don't say it to us. That was my whole point. That I think when me and Jerry would go back and forth, he didn't get. But that was my point. If you're not going to say it to everybody, caution them like, hey, we can't pay you what we should because people just going to steal it. And well, if you're not telling him, why are you telling me? And that went over some people's head. But like I said, they got together. They put this fight together and they did it their way. I said, I did it my way. They did it their way. And they got it done. They bossed the fuck up. So who's to say they can't boss up the second time? They can't boss up the second time around? This is the dumb-ish. You got Spence fans out there. Fuck that. No. You want to get your lick back so bad. I'm telling you, even if they fight again, nothing's going to change the outcome. I can promise you that right now. I feel like it ain't going to change it. And I got actual receipts to show why I think it ain't going to change it. Noah GX, the only son, is in the building. What's popping, King? How Japan doing over there, Noah? Our money is in the building. What's popping, King? Said Miss Steve, what's up? What's up, King? So we got receipts. We all just saw what we saw this weekend that tells us that they can do it one more again. They most certainly can. They can sit down and say, how about March? Maybe even February. But how about March? And we can run it back. Errol Spence got seriously hurt in this fight. Do I know if he's concussed? I don't know. It would not be strange to me if we heard that he was. But he definitely got busted up and there was blood flying. He got cuts in his eyes, swelled up, his nose was bleeding, his mouth was busted open. And as soon as you abrade the skin, cut it or whatever, you have to sit down for a hot second. You have to sit down by boxing rules. You have to sit down. Like if you break something, like your hand or something, you got to wait 3 months at a minimum. If you get a cut, I think you're sitting out for 30 days at a minimum. So what y'all want the man to do? Give him time to heal. Because nothing worse than getting an ass whooping than getting one where you ain't see it coming. It's always the shit you don't see that hurt the worst. Can I get an amen? It's always the shit you don't see that hurts the worst. He didn't see this ass whooping. He saw him giving one, but he didn't see him getting one. And that's why it probably hurt the worst. I bet you mentally he was befuddled. I've sat back and I watched that fight twice now since the first day it aired. I'm going to watch it again this weekend. Y'all do know that Showtime is going to show it for the free this weekend if you got Showtime. So be looking out for when that comes on. I watched it bootleg, I guess you could say that. Somebody from the audience, showed it. And I like the version that I saw this weekend better than the one I seen from the audience point of view. One of them was kind of far out and one of them was kind of closer in. Because the one that they show on TV, you in the ring. It's like you right there in the ring with them. So that one is better, of course. But from a distance, I saw something different. I saw that Earl was putting up a good fight. He was trying. In the ring, it didn't seem like, because Terrence was popping him. And from a distance, you couldn't see all the shots that Terrence was popping them with. But in the ring, when they broadcasting it and you watching that version, you see everything. But from a distance, you're going to miss a couple of those shots. But he was fighting back. It wasn't until they was trying to muscle each other around and Terrence Crawford hit him and knocked him down the first time that Errol Spence realized oh shit, this motherfucker, he different. Remember how they said on Friday, oh, that was different. It was one of them moments, right? And then, he had to get back up and he fought harder. So to the notion of, Terrence Crawford, this is going to be his downfall because every time he get hit, he want his lick back. So he rushes in, like throw caution to the wind. I saw that in Errol because he got back up and he came back stronger. I kept seeing him fight all the way up to the second knockdown. I think after the second knockdown from a distance, you can say, Errol fell off. But up in that ring, the shit was over pretty much by the fourth round or something. Because you can see all those little nuances and them little punches that some of them punches you couldn't see from the crowd, or you couldn't ascertain how bad they really were. But Crawford told him. Crawford fans been telling them for 5 years. But Crawford told him, you going to find out, like everybody else, when you get in there, that, oh, this kid is special. When Brian Custer was asking, what you going to bring to the ring, or how you think this is going to play out, or whatever he asked him, Crawford told him. And so Earl, he was finding out, he was befuddled. He didn't see it coming. So he got hurt worse. Them head shots that he took was worse. Them gut shots he took, they were worse. He didn't see him coming. He didn't prepare for that guy. To me, I feel like he didn't prepare for Terrence at all, because what Terrence did not shock me. I've seen Terrence fight like that all the time. But what I did, the difference in Terrence fighting was two things that I noticed. And they alluded to it. The piston-like jab that he was throwing, the battery ram jab instead of the flicker, that was new. But the other thing was, he was so laser focused. When I go back and look at his other fights, I see where he made mistakes, or he fell back, or he didn't jump on something. He didn't hesitate in this fight. He jumped on everything he saw. He was on point. He wasn't perfect, but he was damn near. That is the only difference of what Terrence Crawford displayed versus his other fights. So I don't see how Errol Spence or his team or his fans didn't see what we saw. I can definitely say Al Heyman knew. Floyd Mayweather knew. Because you could have asked Floyd at any time in the previous years, and Floyd would say, Terrence Crawford is pound for pound number one fighter. That's what he would say. But he didn't put Errol Spence down when he said it. But, I mean, what's your conclusion from that? If Earl is being talked about being the pound for pound number one, but Floyd is saying Terrence is, he don't have to bring up Earl for you to know that he think Terrence is better than Earl. You got people who we rallied around and said that they were the greatest, like James Toney. He said who he thought was gonna win. Roy Jones. You name them, former fighters and trainers, all said Terrence. And then they act like, well, Terrence is getting old. Well, again, you didn't see what we saw. As he said, there was never a close fight that he had. He never took punishment. Not really. I mean, if in a career, a professional career that's 15 years or so old, if all you can say is the man took an accumulated 6 or 7 good punches to the head when he was rocked, if that's all you can say over the span of 15 years, And we already know that the nigga got shot in the back of his head and the bullet bounced off some kind of way. So we got to figure he got a hard head. If that's all you can say, then what you waiting to age him out for? What you attributing punishment to his body over the time? Why are you attributing that to Terrence? Terrence don't slur when he talk. Terrence, I'm not saying he can never, and I'm not wishing it on nobody, but I don't think he's in any danger of having mental issues or something because he boxed. He never really took wear and tear on his body. But dudes who beat their chest acting like they Captain Caveman, when you do all that bullshit, your ego and your pride get you in a world of trouble. I said your ego and your pride will get you in a world of trouble. Because that's where Earl is standing right there. That is the dumb-ish that I'm talking about. If he listens to his fans. Number one, let's recap. Terrence and him put this together, right? Terrence thanked him for coming to the table and sitting down negotiating with him and make sure this shit happened. Terrence even giving him the credit and say, if it won't for you, cool, fine. I ain't got a problem with that. If y'all did it once, y'all can do it again. Earl needs to rest. That ain't making him no punk or putting him down or anything. He seriously needs to rest. What good is your money if you don't have the brain capacity to have fun with it? All you doing is making money for your family and claiming a short life. Hell no. You don't claim that shit. You claim I'm trying to be here till I'm 90-something years old. Enjoy the fruits of your labor along with your family. Not just, hey, I made all this money. Here you go, kids. Come on, shawty. Enjoy it too. Take a rest. Think of yourself. We can point to examples. Canelo never made a big paycheck that he got with Floyd. You know he about to pay. But not until he got with Floyd did he make a big check. And he was the loser in that. Floyd, like Crawford, washed him. It wasn't even close. Floyd didn't hurt Canelo, probably more so his ego and pride. Because remember, he couldn't shake his hand. He couldn't do none of that shit. But Canelo took that loss. He took them lemons and he made lemonade. And now look at all the people. They want to rush to fight Canelo. And Canelo was like, man, fuck y'all. Y'all fight each other. All y'all want is a payday. That's what he's saying. But all of that stemmed off of Floyd. Had he not had the opportunity to fight with Floyd, he wouldn't be the Canelo y'all know and love today. So all I'm saying is these brothers got respect for each other. They showing us better than their fans are showing each other. They got respect for each other. They sat down and made that shit happen. They can do it again. What's wrong with letting this man have a proper rest? He ain't never going back to 147. Why this nigga can't sit back and kick his feet up and get himself all the way together? Because Bud never wanted to fight him in a degraded state. He never wanted to. So let him get himself together. Give him a little time. I ain't say forever. And Terrence, with all the belts, adhering to all the rules. I'm not going to pull up the WBO rules, but I showed y'all this before. The rules. I want to, but I don't want to be here all day doing it. I probably will, but look at that. But he got time. Bud has time. Everybody's like, oh, now Boots is on his ass. Boots was on Spence' ass. Now Boots got to petition the WBO I don't think he ranked in WBO again. But the IBF, he got to go petition the IBF to fight Terrence. Terrence don't pick up Errol Spence that right there off the muscle. No. Because right now would have been the time limit for Errol Spence to get that fight done with Boots, from whence Boots petition. So what you saying now? The Terrence got the belt. Boom. Now you got to next week make that fight. No. Boots got to turn around and petition again. Got to go through the process again. And I'm sure, as Terrence said, you touched my pride. But if I was Boots, I would sit up, shut up, be humble. I will fall back. These men are not going to stay at 147. The belt's about to be all yours. Enjoy. It's about to be all yours. Because I promise you, Boots cannot beat Terrence. And he can't beat Errol. In my opinion. I don't think he could beat either one of them. So why go through all that? You know, why put yourself through unnecessary risk? The idea is to work smarter, not harder. Fall back. Come next year, the belts are yours. People got to come see you. You gonna come see them, and you probably going to win. So why not play it smarter but harder? Dude, I almost he said Errol the Tooth Jr. Okay. He said Team Bud offered Boots BLK Prime deal and Team Boots ran under Espinosa's dress. That is true. That's a clever way to put it. Errol the Tooth Jr. He did. They did. And they try to clean it up. It won't never Bud ducking Boots. More like Boots ducking Bud. But, I mean, you don't hear me on here all the time saying Boots ducking Bud, Boots ducking Bud. Boots made a choice who he rathered. He rathered Errol. So since Errol was a champion, I was like, okay, one champion or the other one. It's all to the good. I ain't gonna call a man no duck. But you did duck Terrence. Because you was in line and you had the key to unlock the door to get a fight with Terrence. And all you had to do was ask. But you chose to leave the WBO ranking where Terrence is at and go for the IBF where Errol is at. So you picked who you rather. And you didn't petition not one time, not two times, but Trey times. Nigga, you asked Trey times to fight Errol Spence. And they granted you a wish. Errol was put on the time limit. Hence, when I say he put himself in a predicament, and all the fans of Errol want to say, no, Miss T, no, because they don't like how that sound. But Errol did. He backed himself in the corner, shot. He had 4 people coming at his neck. He put himself there. Had he been fighting his mandatories, that'd have been one less person. What else? Had he just went after Crawford and got the belt, and then took the winner of the box off that Stanionis and Ugas was gonna be in, you could have cleaned up that shit easy peasy. But whatever the case is, those two are now the premier fighters of the day. They along with Tank Davis are the face of boxing. So we're gonna have to deal with it. I'm just saying he should wait. His fans are saying nope. They're anxious to get this ass whooped again. You can't even tell them the truth and save them for themselves because they're just anxious. They can't even be reasoned with. That's the crazy shit about Earl fans. Now I spent a lot on him because he's the top dog. He's the big fish. But I'm gonna breeze through these couple of other people. Tank. Why is Tank saying he want to fight Bud? I'm thinking this again. You see this out there on the thumbnail when you go through the YouTube. I don't know if it's real or if it's not, but I'm gonna speak on it. And y'all heard me say I don't know if it's real or not, but I'm gonna speak on it. Tank is claiming he wants to fight Bud and he feels he can knock Bud out. Tank need to sit his ass down somewhere and go chill. I first heard this and said, damn, nigga, you and Earl that much of friends? Earl is a grown man. He don't need nobody backing him up. If anybody can get the lick, it'll be Earl. Earl said he wanted a rematch. Why the fuck is you running trying to help him out? Like, that's crazy. Let this man go fall on his sword and go fight his battles. You younger than him. He don't need you. You ain't his daddy. But then I thought about it. And I said, that ain't why Tank said that. Because, see, now Bud is dangerously close, if not have already done it, is honing in Tank's territory. Tank is marking his territory. He's marking his territory. He pissing on all four corners because Tank is the face of boxing because of what he did with Ryan Garcia, making $1.2 million pay-per-view buys, right? Well, God forbid somebody else come through and do that shit. Now we got to see who. Now, here's the thing, the difference between Tank and somebody like a Floyd. And Floyd and somebody like a Terrence or Earl. You can take it to the bank. I'm sorry, hold on, y'all. You can take it to the bank or it's bona fide certified that Floyd Mayweather is going to bring $1 billion to Vegas every time he fight. We knew he was fighting twice a year, but every time he fought, he was bringing $1 billion to Vegas. You can take that to the bank. Airlines are making money. Hotels are making money. Casinos are making money. Cab drivers are making money. Little mom and pop stores are making money. Restaurants are making money. Everybody's making money. Uber is making money. All because of a Floyd Mayweather event. And the pay-per-views. Good Lord, not to mention them. Floyd's, I think, highest pay-per-view. He got the record. He like at the top 4. I think he did 4.6 with somebody. I don't know who could break that record. And this is, the funny thing is, people were stealing pay-per-views then. And he still made 4.6. So imagine if nobody stole it, how much would it have been? But anywho, Floyd was making that money. So of course he was the face of boxing. So of course everybody who fought him made money. Hence Canelo. Look at Canelo now. You know, if you knew how to take your opportunity with Floyd and exploit it for everything that it was, Guerrero could be sitting pretty. Maidana could be sitting pretty. Pacquiao is sitting pretty. Even without Floyd, he was sitting pretty. Canelo is now sitting pretty. Berto could be sitting pretty. But all of them they got what they wanted. Berto got like what? 5-6 million, something like that. Hey, 5 million, I can tell you, I'll be rich for life. I will have me a good old time with 5 million. It's a lot I could do with that. You know what I'm saying? You can give me $1 million and I'm straight. Better than straight. So everybody had to come up when they fought Floyd. And it's to be expected. Only one person that really took the lemons and made lemonade, and that was Canelo. Now Tank, under Floyd's tutelage, have learned how to maximize his earnings. But he had to have some failures before he had some success. We know that his fights with Pitbull and Rolly, I think, made like 50,000. He didn't make that much with that guy. So 3 times that Tank attempted to do a big time pay-per-view, he didn't make that much. He had to have the right dance partner, and that was Ryan. So from now forward, you think Tank is going to fight somebody that can't generate that? See, everybody want to give the credit to one person and say this person made all that money. But really, it's the dance partner you was with. Y'all two together made all that money. So Tank can't go and fight a person we don't know. I don't call people nobodies. But he can't go fight a person we don't know and think he gonna bring in $1.2 million. You know, so Tank gotta become a person who's diplomat, like how we see Bud now on this other level, how we seen Canelo go from low to high, how we seen Floyd go from low to high. Terrence is on that level. Spence, you are still on that level, or you became on that level at the same time with Terrence. Y'all did it together. Ryan, you on that level. Ryan could come in and demand shit too. This is the question. It's one thing to get there, but can you sustain it? Tank was dubbed the face of boxing. Like, I'm sure there's some heavyweights, cruiserweights, light heavyweight, super middleweights, junior middleweights, welterweights, super lightweights, all the way down to his weight class, who probably wish that they could get the fight with Tank because they know that's money. It's prize fighting, y'all. So Tank, it was no honorable thing. What's up, Tay? I see you in here. He said, hey, Miss T, Martin King said, what's good, Miss T? Demetrius Ross, welcome to the building. What's good with you? Tank wasn't doing no honorable thing, but that was my first thought. You want to get back for your friend, but why? Your friend is a grown man. He good. He could do this without you. Tank saw Bud pissing in his territory. That's what the fuck Tank saw. So Tank is challenging Bud. I don't know how true it is. Talking about he can knock him out. Whatever Bud's response was for, this weight class is for a reason. Like, he won't take him serious. Shout out to Bud for that. Bud didn't put Tank down. He ain't go through all that rigmarole. Tank, you gets no love over here. You ain't getting no love with Bud. You don't deserve to be fighting him. You ain't in that weight class. Stay in your weight class. Take your lemons and make lemonade. If Bud did just as good as you in numbers, or you still did the best numbers, guess what? Now the test is harder. Can you sustain that? Can you have that be a chronic condition, that fight after fight after fight, you bringing in that type of money like Mayweather was? Canelo showed that he could do it. Now you got to show that you can do it. And by the way, Earl and Bud, y'all got to show that y'all can do it, because y'all are all on that level. Once you get to a level, don't go backwards, or you don't want to go backwards. That's not the goal. So Tank, that shit right there, I don't know how serious it is, but Tank is mad because Bud is pissing in his territory. That's what that is all about. Demetrius said Tank capping. Bud wouldn't even entertain that nonsense. Exactly. And that's how Bud was supposed to handle that. So now let's get to Clarissa Shields. I don't know how true this shit is. This is what I'm talking about. Another thing, because we just talked about Earl and the dumb-ish stuff that his fans want him to do. I hope he ain't listening to that. And Tank with the dumb-ish stuff that he talking about, because he guarding his territory and shit. Now let's talk about Clarissa and the dumb-ish she's talking about. We know that's the GOAT. The GOAT. Let me correct myself. The GOAT. That's a bad girl right there. 2-time gold medalist. They don't just give them out. She's been undisputed 3 times, twice in one weight division. That means she had to drop all them belts, go somewhere else, and come back and win them back one by one. That's a bad girl. Unfortunately, in women's boxing, there's not a plethora of boxers. And that's all that's needed to elevate, I think, women's boxing. We need more women to want to have that as a career. Because right now they doing a round robin. They fighting the same people. So Clarissa's probably feeling, and I understand. Ain't nobody no competition for me. Clarissa's a fully grown woman. She can't drop down to 120. She'll be sickly looking. You can't expect her to. So what they gonna do? The same 4 or 5 women keep fighting each other? Hopefully one day it can be like 100 women in their division. You know what I'm saying? It's certainly more women her size in America than anything else. And that ain't even considered big or nothing. You know what I'm saying? But the rumors is, I gotta tell it, that she wants to fight Keith Thurman. Now, see, this is what I mean by besmirching people's characters or assassinating people's characters. That shit ain't cool. Because had not Earl did that, Keith Thurman wouldn't have no bad reputation today. And yes, I got to lay it at Earl's feet because he was the one who did it. He started, and his fans take it, run with it, and take it to another level. Since when do we can't or shouldn't respect Keith Thurman? He was a premier champion. He is one of the guys that put PBC on the map. He was unified, creme de la creme, welterweight champion for the longest. Sometimes these fighters get injuries and they fall off. It happens. But since when did he become a bitch? I like Clarissa, but you're wrong on this, sis. You are wrong on this. To refer to this man like that and to even talk to him like that. And I'm especially proud of Keith Thurman for not entertaining it and not engaging in it. I understand, sis, that you don't have a lot of competition and you're probably tired of fighting the same women and you probably want a long career. You probably just prefer that. I know you like children and all that, but you probably somebody who prefers not to have children. It happens, y'all. There are women and men who decide they don't want to be parents, but they're good with kids. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Maybe you decide I'd rather have this long boxing career than to pop out a few babies. Cool. Why am I saying that? Because she has to endure this career of keep looking at the same 3 or 4 women. That shit gonna get old after a while. She can't drop down to 120. So what's a girl to do? I admit you have to become creative to keep your career going. But calling out a man and expecting him to fight you and to call him out his name, you have gone a step too far. D-Ray Promotions is in the building with Poppy King. You have gone too far, Clarissa, because Keith never did nothing to you, as far as I know. So why is he a bitch to you? Yeah, you can say, hey, T, you don't know everything. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You right, I don't know. But to my knowledge, that man has never did nothing to a lot of people. He technically did not do nothing to Earl. He was minding his business, trying to go after what he want. Earl tried to put himself in front of Keith Thurman. And Keith Thurman pretty much was like, gave a nice answer, but if I could paraphrase the shit and put my stank on it, look, little nigga, I'm trying to do this over here, and you getting in my fucking way. Was he wrong for that? I say not, because what did we turn around and see Earl do? The same shit. Then we see Terrence do the same shit. Aren't we seeing Boots doing the same shit? If y'all say, no, Boots ain't doing it, he trying to fight everybody. No, he not. Because Blair the Flair been begging him for a fight, and he ignoring them. Why? They in the same weight class. They both prospects. Why not? But my point is, you're trying to be creative. And I think, Clarissa, you just got to be a little bit more creative. But don't cross lines. Like, to me, that's crossing lines. That's unfair. That's rude. That's disrespectful. And it's not living in reality. Keith Thurman is still a man. You're not knocking women out. You fighting them. You're like the Devin Haney of boxing for females. You're not knocking women out. And I'm speaking truth. I'm not talking about her because I'm a fan of hers. But you're not knocking women out. But somehow or another, you're going to beat this man. There ain't a fighter out there that has shown that they can have a total shutout, meaning they can hit and not get hit. You want Keith Thurman to fight you full-fledged, balls to wall, or do you want him to pity-pat you all night? Which one you want? Because if he fights you like he fight the men, your ass get knocked out. You going night-night, and your career might be the fuck over. And any man who's like laughing at this or supporting this or anybody, I don't get it. I'm not going to say nothing wrong with y'all. I'm going to just say I don't get it. He's too much for you, Clarissa. There is a difference. Now, I'm far from being the person that put a cap on a woman or say limit women as to what they going to do. I don't like that chauvinistic shit. I'm going to tell you, anybody can tell you, they probably say I'm a feminist or something, but I'm all about women's rights and live and getting everything we can. Don't put no brakes on us and shit. Fuck that. We can do any and everything. Yeah. I'm with all that shit. But I live in reality too. You ain't putting your paws on this man and think he can't hurt you. But Keith Thurman, the best you can do is to laugh at it, ignore it. I won't think nothing less of you. I would think more or less of you if you entertained it and got in the ring with her. But maybe you saying bitch to get his goat, to make him jump. But I think that's disrespectful. You way better of a woman than that, to disrespect him like that. I'm pleading. Like don't be like that. That's a turnoff to your fans. Don't do that. And Keith Thurman, thank you for not coming out there and acting a donkey. Because he could. So that's a dumb-ish thing that Clarissa was doing and Keith Thurman was a part of. Right now, Keith Thurman, you holding it down like you're supposed to. Never entertain that. You remember when Ronda Rousey was trying to challenge Floyd? She really believed she could hurt Floyd. But Floyd knew better. You'll fuck up everything that you build and made your brand by even fighting a girl. Floyd knew that. Floyd took his jab at her. I mean, she was brutal at Floyd. They asked him about her in the interview. Floyd said, I don't know him. Floyd stupid as hell. He said, I don't know him. I laughed. They probably laughed and chuckled, and that was the end of it. Floyd didn't harp on it. Ain't no telling what Floyd was saying behind the scenes now, but Floyd knew that wasn't going to help his brand. That would hurt his brand. Keith Thurman, that will hurt your brand. Clarissa Shields, it might end your career. Come on now. Yes, we are women here as Roar. We could do anything and that y'all could do and probably do it better. But we can't fight y'all. There's a difference. It's like saying there's weight classes for a difference. There's gender classes for a difference. They make a difference. So Clarissa, that was on my list of some dumb-ish shit. And Keith Thurman, you were a casualty of that inadvertently. As far as Canelo and Charlo, this is my last one. Now, I know I'm running long or whatever, y'all, but I got to get it out. So I've been given information to saying that if Jermell Charlo, as soon as that bell ring for him and Canelo, they stripping him of his WBO. Now, my friends all upset, thinking everything is unfair and this, that, and the other. And I was telling you guys about the WBO rule. I thought I was going to look it up, but I'm not. I'll probably talk about this another time. But the WBO rule is plain as day. I showed y'all this before. It tells you if you hold the WBO belt, you are subject to their rules. The same thing applies or is applicable to all the other sanctioning bodies. They have rules. One of their rules is you have to defend your title every 9 months. They didn't say sometimes. They say every 9 months. And every 18 months, you have to face a mandatory. People choose to be dumb and delusional. This is why we had that big controversy with Floyd. I mean, not with Floyd per se, but with Bud and Earl not fighting last year. Y'all could not understand that the nigga is subject to WBO rules that says he had to fight or defend his title every 9 months. And the only wiggle room we're allowing is if he can schedule a unified bout or undisputed. But then there's the leaked convo where Earl's saying January, the end of January 2023. And then you got Floyd on tape saying the first quarter of 2003. And Al Heyman putting it in writing the first quarter 2023. And if you didn't believe that, because, you know, Al don't come out and talk. We don't ever see him. Earl and Bud went back and forth on Twitter. And that was confirmed there that Al wanted 2023. So you got Earl, Floyd, and Floyd always said PBC, I am PBC, and PBC is me. You got Floyd, Earl, and Al saying 2023, but it's 2022. So if you listen to Earl, Floyd, and Al, you won't doing shit else for the year 2022. But everybody want to blame him as if he did something wrong because he fought the number 6 rank across the board with all the sanctioning bodies. And we know there's plenty of men. It's not like the women in boxing. There's plenty of boxers on the men's side. Hundreds in each division. And he was ranked number 6 across the board, kind of. It was like either 6 or 7. So he's in the top 10. And the other fighters that Bud could have picked were all PBC fighters. So he can't pick them. You ain't going to give me the fight with Earl and your PBC. So why should I take another PBC fight? I mean, make it make sense. And the fact that as of August last year, Bud was, when August turned into September, Bud's time had expired on a hearing to the WBO rule of every 9 months. The WBO plays no game. You can't compare how they act compared to the other sanctioning bodies. They got their rules and they holding your feet to the fire on them rules. Why do I bring that shit up? Because Jermell Charlo, if you remember correctly, he was due to have a fight January 28th. It was made in the summer, like June sometime, that last summer. And we was like, damn, that's a long time. That's a long time before a fight. So December sometime frame, Charlo hurt his hand. And he made a video to show proof. But the WBO was like, whoa, Kemosabe, that ain't enough proof for me. We need more concrete proof or better proof. And I mean, that happens to all of us. You done been somewhere, you try to turn in something like a copy of your birth certificate, and they be like, no, we want the original. Okay, now you gotta send off to get it. You know what I'm talking about. It's not uncommon for people to want amplifying proof rather than the little proof you gave. Now, the WBC, IBF, and the WBA accepted Errol Spence recent car accident, the live that he had, as ample proof. That wouldn't have worked with the WBO. So, the WBO in the last week of December of 2022 said, you got to January 5th, shawty, to show us proof. Or else. So, what that tell me is that Jermell Charlo, he don't be really in communication or communicado with the WBO. When Bud was trying to make that fight and it didn't happen, I think Bud was always in communication with the WBO because they never chastised him in public. They never had to order him to fight somebody. This is why Bud said, I'm fighting this year. Y'all not going to have me get stripped. If he'd have listened to all the Spence fans and everybody, he wouldn't be where he is right now because he wouldn't have got the fight with Earl. And there wouldn't be no fights with Bud in it for no undisputed because he would have got his belt taken had he not fought David Avanesian while y'all being disrespectful as hell to the man by calling him avocado and all that. Some of that shit funny, but I'm just saying. Y'all want to be disrespectful to him because he fought Bud. But all that to prove the point, WBO don't play that. WBO, you got to show and prove to them. You at best, you should always be in communication with them because they'll probably work with you behind the scenes. They might extend you a week or two. That might be all the time you need to get something straight. So Jermell Charlo had to learn the lesson in public by them ordering him by January 5th to show proof. So he did. He must have. Because they never said shit else to him. They ain't strip him. He's still currently the WBO undisputed champion of the world at the junior middleweight division. Because he still has a strap. Now, can we blame Jermell Charlo for wanting to fight Canelo? You got all these people beckoning at Canelo's heels. I wanna fight you. And Canelo's turning around and said, y'all fight each other. All y'all want is a payday. That's all y'all want from me. And they like, yeah, shit, nigga, it's prize fighting. How many times Jermell Charlo called his brother out? Said, you turned down, you walked away from the fight with Canelo. Just calling his ass out. Andre want to fight, Canelo don't want to give it to him. What's his name? Benavidez want to fight, Canelo don't want to give it to him. But he would have, I guess they offered it to Charlo and he turned it down. Yeah, he going through some stuff, but that ain't everybody in boxing's fault. You know, him still having his belt is a whole nother story. But he turned it down, so they offered it at his brother. What y'all think Charlo was supposed to do? See, I wouldn't have been mad about nothing he did. This decision that Jermell Charlo got to make is his decision. And none of us can be mad. And his decision is going to affect a lot of people. It's going to affect Canelo, because Canelo on his last leg, his last few fights before he got to hang it up. It's going to affect his legacy. You know what I'm saying? It's going to affect Jamel, because Jamel could fuck around and win, and then he would have been undisputed twice, just like Bud. But Jamel could be biting off more than he could chew. It's going to affect if they stripped the belt and then who they offer it to. Maybe they'll make Bud and that person fight. It's affecting Bud if they take the belt from him, because now Bud got to go work at everything. Because you know Jamel, if they take that motherfucker from him, he going to say fuck all of them and throw them in the trash. I can see him doing that. I ain't saying he would, but he may do it. His decision affects a lot of people. We cannot be mad at Jermell Charlo if he go up there and fight Canelo. He has to look at the big perspective and look at the grand scheme of things. When else is he going to have this opportunity? Caleb Plant is rich for life, fucking around, fighting Canelo. I think Caleb Plant walked away with close to $25 million total. I think his pay was 11 million, and all the rest of that shit came on the back end. Just by fighting Canelo. Somebody that people all assumed that he couldn't beat. And was doing a great job. But the lack of power of it all. You know what I'm saying? So that makes Jermell look at it like, well, shit, if Caleb could do that much, hell, I could whatever whoop the woo. Now, Jermell, you can fight. You a scrapper. You got power, but you don't box better than Caleb. And Canelo don't do good with boxers. If Canelo can't get to you and hurt you, then if you're a pure boxer, you can win. To tell you the truth, Lara beat Canelo, and I don't even like Lara. But Lara is a better boxer than Canelo. That's how Floyd watched him, because he was just a better boxer. Canelo cannot win a boxing contest with people who are pure boxers, as long as the boxers know how to move around the ring and do lateral movements and general IQ. I mean, their IQ is real big, generalship around the ring. As long as they can do all that shit, they can beat Canelo. Because it's either going to be a decision, a TKO, or a KO. You know what I'm saying? Those are three ways a fighter can lose, you know, or win. You know. So Jermell, call it daring to be great, call it what you want to call it. Would any of us turn down an opportunity? I'm going to tell you, for what these men make in boxing, I think I'll get in the ring. But that's some dumb-ish shit. If your whole thing is about legacy and holding on to what you got, but it can be some dumb-ish shit if you pass up that opportunity. Because I don't know if y'all remember this, a long time ago when the Charlos first started, Jermell was the one that said, I don't want to do this forever. I'm probably going to do this till I'm about like 27, 28. Then I want to go to Hollywood and blah, 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 blah. I don't know if y'all remember that. But I remember that. And I mean, I'm talking a long time ago when they was probably in the same weight class and they looked more so alike and they was about the same size. He said that. I never forgot it. Because I was like, well, damn, your brother gonna fight forever and you only gonna fight for a little bit. And it could explain why it seemed like they always bigged up or propped up Jamal over, you know, more so than Jermell. Like back then, Jamal was on TV. He made the card, whether it was free Showtime or whatever, but he was on TV more than Jermell was. So these are the dumb-ish things we're going to be dealing with for the rest of this year, I guess, in boxing. We need to get that straight. Sorry if I was long-winded, but it had to be talked about. Earl Spence, listen to your heart. Take care of yourself. Put yourself first. You can't spend money when you're incapacitated. You can't take the money with you neither. Take time. Bud will wait. Y'all are in the driver's seat. Y'all proved that. Bud will wait. And he don't mind giving you the 154. Bud don't have a problem with you. Y'all two get along. Y'all don't have animosity. It's going to take the animosity a while to dial down with each one of y'all fans. We have our reasons as Bud fans, and Spence fans have their reason. Tank, you just marking your territory. You don't want Bud ass to move in on your territory. That's all that is. If Bud and them didn't make as much as you happy with him being second. But, in the end of the day, they going to remember Bud before they remember you. Because you remember, it's all about the money for you. Keep ignoring. Don't fall into that trap. We know. A lot of women out here, we know. And men. I don't know who's dumb enough to think that a woman is going to get in there and match you skill for skill to the point that they beat you. Nobody wants to see that. It will mess up both of y'all brands. I get it, Clarissa. You don't have a lot of competition. You tired of looking at the same few people. And those people is tired of looking at the same few people. Your time would be well spent trying to drum up more women participation. I don't know how you do that, but it's best to do that. You was given the world, you didn't make it. You have to do what you do, but do it based in reality. Because I don't want to see your brand messed up. Canelo and Charlo, I think Canelo should face the people that have been begging him to fight, like first Andre, then maybe Benavidez, then Charlo, Jamal. But hey, Canelo doing him. He took lemons out of the situation that he found himself in, facing Floyd Mayweather, and he made lemonade. And a lot of y'all need to look at how he did that shit. Yeah, he had the machine behind him, but once he got in a position or opportunity, he took lemons and made lemonade. As far as Jamel, I gotta tell you, I think Bud gonna beat your ass. It's in my intro that you next, the cheerleader. But I ain't mad at you, shawty. I wouldn't be mad at you if you dropped your belts and moved up. Wouldn't be mad. That's your choice. Bud did it. I wasn't mad at Bud. So I definitely ain't gonna be mad at you. I'm not mad that you felt like, damn, my brother passed up on this opportunity. I'm gonna go do it. If nothing else, nigga, you gonna be beyond rich. Who can be mad at that? You definitely gonna get the payday. But your decision affects a lot of people. And as long as people are aware of that, but you guys, it's his decision to make. And before you start saying that the WBO is doing him dirty, go look at the WBO rules. The WBO is holding his feet to the fire. And I think, you know how they say you get more flies with honey? Yeah, Jamel, if you was communicating with them and stop playing Bobby badass all the time, you probably could get a reprieve or some understanding. Devin Haney about to find himself in a predicament. They ordered him to fight. Why? Devin Haney, we know you cannot make that weight. We know you can't. Your dad put this foot in his mouth and say, we're going to be champion to the end of the year. Okay. So you got to take the backlash to come with it. You young enough for us to be been to forgot that 5-6 years from now, you still be in your 20s. But what you're not going to do with them Because one, you don't make money. This is reality. You're not a draw. You're not making no money. Nobody is flocking to your fights. But you hold all the hardware so you get the respect. But you're not going to hold on to those. Because, see, it's your ego right now is getting the best of you. Because you want to hold on to the belts. Because who is Devin Haney if he's not the champ? If he's not the undisputed champ? That's evidently clear that means way too much to you. So you want to hold on to your belts, and then you want to go up to another weight class because it only makes sense. You can't make the weight class that you in now, and you go fight another champion. You want to take his belt, but still kind of hedge your bets in case you lose to him that you're still a champion. Now y'all talk about Devin Haney, dare to be great, nigga. Dare to be great. Go on up there and take your chance and drop them belts. You ain't coming back. You can't make the weight. You are creating smoke and mirrors right now. You want to fight Regis because of the weight he's in. You don't want to fight Tank. If you want to stay the lightweight champion, then fight Tank. Fight Shakur. That's it. That's all. But that's all I have for y'all today. Thank y'all for listening or whatever. While I got on my soapbox and everything. I've been dropped the link, but I know I had a lot to talk about. These are the things be coming up at me as I'm sitting here during the day, minding my own business, trying to just play catch up on all the news that is coming out. But once again, by popular demand, y'all can go head over to AskMeT51.com. Look at your screen right now. AskMeT51.com and get your I Get Active. How did Bud say it? I get active while supplies last. Look. Go on over, get your t-shirts. I Get Active. They come in all colors. Red, blue, gray, white. Colors I don't even know the name of them. They're nice. Ladies, go get your anywho. You know, when people talking to you, you don't care what the hell they talking about. You be like, anywho. Your mirror shirts. Everything is a process. Very special. Now, as far as Suspense, hoodies, undisputed, I gotta discontinue them. But I ain't gotta discontinue this one. This is my baby right here. This is my era. Put that back, 2023. Undisputed on the sleeves. But who was that who said he wanted several of these? The guy on yesterday was WJ. I forgot your name, Shawty. Oh shit, you was on the panel yesterday. He said he wanted I Get Active. I hear tell that that's the new saying. Like when in my day we used to say I get busy. But now the young folks, they say I get active. Bud Crawford and Eminem. Y'all go and cop y'all shirts. But thanks for watching. That's my show. And in the words of Pamela James, peace.